Welcome to the MikiDz Podcast,
Yes,
episode 28.
28.
Damn, we get into that point where we're starting to forget the episodes.
Yep.
And,
we do that every episode.
Every episode, we're at that point.
We gotta look at each other real quick. Like, is that right? We got a special guest in the house.
Just a guest, but I'm here.
DJ Nitrane.
Yes,
hold on.
I was waiting for you. Yeah, he can set him up, lob him up. Here we go, off the backboard.
Love.
He got the applause. Give him his flowers.
Did I get it?
All right, and so for those that are on YouTube and watching us, we opened up with a little Aston Martin music. I wasn't here when the inside joke or whatever story is going. So
put it on the outside, bro.
Yeah. So the reason why we went with this song is because Nitrane's birthday was what, like a month ago?
A couple,
like a month or two ago, and he did some dope shit in Santa Monica, believe it or not. You know, if you guys know about Nitrane, he Hollywood star. He did some dope shit in Santa Monica, and I had the pleasure of being able to DJ with him.
We running it back.
And I go, yo, what song you want to play? You know, when they bring the bottle out and the whole nine and they, you know, say happy birthday or whatever. You know, it's just at this time, it's like midnight.
Yeah.
Close to midnight, if not already midnight. Yeah. And I got there kind of late, and it was jumping when I got in there. It was like, if I got there at 10:15, it was already. I was like, oh shit, okay. So I jump on.
Train brings them out, man. Good shit,
man.
Yeah.
This is
more flowers.
So I get on, and I'm asking him, like, all right, cool. You know, I want to have this song prepared when he come up. He's like, yo, you know, Drake's my favorite artist. So he's like, you got that.
I didn't say that.
No, you said Drake's my BFF, bro. Don't stop you there. The podcast to lie on, man.
I'm gonna stop you there.
You said that's the homie. That's like the big brother.
No,
I said, what you want to hear? He specifically said, you know, Drake's my favorite artist. So he was like, he said, what? He says, do you have that? Do you have Aston Martin, the Drake verse? And I was like, yeah, nigga, I got that shit. And I was like, now, if you guys know the song, obviously you just heard it. Yeah. It's pretty, you know, chill.
It's mellowed out.
You know what I'm saying? That's some shit you listen to in the whip. You know what I mean? Mellow out. And we're in the middle of the spot. I'm like, all right, nigga, it's your birthday. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't even play it. Yeah, we didn't even play it. It took a minute to get on.
I knew I could choose whatever the hell I wanted.
So were you upset that you couldn't unzip your jacket and show off your Aston Martin shirt? Your Drake Aston Martin shirt?
I didn't. I think I had just listened to that in the car on the way there, and that was on my mind. Yeah. So that's probably why I picked it. But I did not say he was my favorite artist.
So you definitely be draking and driving.
Oh, all the time.
I think I sat in the car.
I have a whole B-side.
Why was this like 10 Drake records in a row?
I have a whole playlist. I got a whole B-sides playlist. Like the only reason I made this playlist was inspired by Jay-Z's B-sides concert. So I was like, man, if Drake ever had a B-side, what would I want to hear? What would it sound like?
Wait.
So I just made a whole playlist.
So Miki sat in the car and he starts talking. You say, hold on, shut up. Don't say anything. Let me turn the playlist on. Let me get the playlist going. Okay, proceed.
No, it's automatic. It just plays.
Marvin's Room, go.
Yo, and speaking of Nitrane,
Marvin's Room not in there for sure.
Speaking of Nitrane's Aston Martin, do you know about the guys that wear the hats of the car they drive? Like, is that just like annoying?
I thought that was a European thing.
Yeah, that's what
like the Ferrari joint.
Yeah,
but the Ferrari hats are at Ross, so it's like,
I'm never wearing no Ferrari sneakers or
the Puma.
I'm not. No, shout out Puma. Shout out Puma. I love Puma. Shout out Vivian at Puma.
Don't fuck that up.
Nah. Speaking of Puma, did he tell you about the little Puma look he did? A little Puma party.
Oh shit! Right?
I heard about it.
I did a Puma party with. I told y'all.
It
was Danny Lay's. It was Danny Lay's party. I did a Puma event with my boy Waddy, but I had a Nike crew neck on.
You weren't thinking. You just didn't care.
Listen, I got brought in by somebody else. They didn't style me with it, so I was like, hey,
smart.
I figured if they cared, they would have gave me some shit to put on.
Yeah.
But
I know dudes who purposely pull up with the wrong brand to get seated something.
Really?
That's
Like,
smart.
that bag wasn't that. You didn't have a seating bag for me. I'm gonna wear this.
Just imagine how sick you gotta look there when you're not getting a seating bag and you just wear the Yeah, I feel bad for you.
That's a gamble.
You played yourself for sure.
Oh my gosh!
Like when you thought you were good enough for a seating bag, so you pulled up with an all Adidas tracksuit, looking like Run DMC. Nah, not happening. Nope. No, but that party was jumping. It was jumping. It was open bar. One of my friends, I won't name, fell asleep on the couch.
Nice.
At the party. That's how jumping that party was.
Man. You know,
It's so high. People are passing out on the couch. That's high.
Bruh,
I've seen that before.
Listen, that shit was a great party, man. Yeah, it's a great party. Shout out Waddy and Rell.
And we're fresh off of New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year, fellas.
Happy New Year.
This is going to be our second episode for the New Year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is it? Man, I thought y'all had me here because it was the first one. Y'all wanted to kick it off 2020.
Well, you're the first guest of the New Year.
Damn,
You are the first
You are the
guest
first guest of the New Year.
See how
Can
this works?
we get it right?
No, I'm kidding, guys.
How was your New Year?
Thank you for having me first and foremost. I
Okay.
didn't get to say that. We go back way too long.
Yeah.
Nitrane had to remind me even how
far back.
back.
I know Miki before he even knew me. That's how.
I mean, that's kind of
People
creepy.
got those
but-
kind of Mickey stories.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Joe's hurt. I don't know why.
I've heard a few of those Mickey stories.
There's a lot of
But
them.
we won't get into them. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I had a bad era. Okay, I was a little
had a bad
cocky. I was a little
era?
arrogant. I've grown up. Moving
Have
on.
you?
Mickey.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah, you have.
I've grown up. I've matured in the ego side of things. I haven't matured at all in my other side of
Yeah.
You
things.
text me
Listen,
back. That's
baby
how I know
steps.
you've grown.
Baby
You
steps,
text
baby.
me back.
You text me back.
We're making progress.
Yeah, we're making progress.
Anyway.
Yeah.
How was my New Year's? My New Year's was very last minute. It was
Yeah.
very dope.
Typical LA shit.
Typical. I mean, honestly, this is probably the first year that a lot of people didn't have any plans for New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was very strange to see. Like even promoters or like other people that are really going out all the time, like I would have thought they had plans, but
Yeah.
I'm getting text messages the night of New Year's Eve, like, where you at?
Where you at? Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even post my flyer until probably 6 p.m. on New
That
Year's
day.
Eve.
Yeah.
That day. I had the gig, but I just, you just
I
kind of
definitely
want
text you the day of too.
yeah, of course, but you kind of want to wait and see. In my mind, I was like, maybe somebody's gonna call me and for some wild exclusive shit. So I want to keep it open.
Right.
But luckily,
Basically keeping it open for a Kardashian phone call.
oh,
They don't know, man. Let me help you out, man.
I should have made a bet
The
with
resident
somebody
DJ at the
that
DJ
was
at the
gonna come up.
Kardashian house.
Bro, every time you do a
Jesus.
podcast, it's gonna
You would have
come
made that for sure.
Yeah.
You would have made that money back
I would
quick.
have made that.
All right,
What?
but back to your night.
But New Year.
I'm sick. He cut you off to brag about you.
cut
I told
you
you.
off.
All right, go ahead.
Go back. Go back.
That's his Kanye moment.
Tell you a little story. I spent my New Year with Rell. Rell came to my gig. We spent the countdown together with him and his fiance.
Yo,
That's what Martin hasn't played.
I made every effort
Yo.
to get Rell to come out.
Yo.
You don't even understand. To come out
You
to
were
my
paying
gig.
Rell to come
Bro,
out. weren't you?
nobody's
Huh?
going to the
Yeah.
OC.
What did I say?
You were throwing money at him?
No, I didn't throw money.
listen.
I think I paid. I offered to pay for some. Oh, the room.
Oh, that's
I said,
what
I'll
it
get
was.
you a
He was
room.
like,
Damn,
yo,
that's expensive.
He said,
New Year's Eve?
it says 40 minutes to get down here. I was like, bro, it's gonna take me 40 minutes just to get out of downtown LA.
Bro,
Yeah.
no way.
It was
Yeah,
stupid
for real.
down there.
Well, yeah. Talk about where you were at.
No, let's
Sorry,
finish.
finish your story.
I played
Clearly,
at,
we're organized here at the MikiDz Podcast.
I played at station 1640 in Hollywood. It was kind of dope, honestly. To get fake deep. The start of my decade started there when it was called Echo. I don't know if
Echo.
you guys remember.
Yeah,
Echo.
yeah.
Then it went into
That
like,
was our first hip hop
Yeah,
experience.
lollipops.
Yeah. Then it went to
Like on Mondays.
then it changed to like Couture.
Couture. And
Yeah.
that's when
And,
it was Couture.
Then it changed to station. So being able to like ring in the new year there or finish the decade off there
Yeah.
and start a new one was kind of dope. Full circle. And,
Yeah.
I had a few of my friends in there. So it was dope. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it for sure. Being responsible for a countdown and having to coordinate with the venue is something that like it's stress I didn't want.
Yeah.
But it worked out. But it was fun, man. I played balling. If you guys are gonna ask, you guys had that debate on the last,
little debate.
I played balling just because it's an LA crowd.
Yep.
That moment, the whole countdown is a blank for me because I was so kind of tuned in and trying to get it right.
Right.
So I don't know. How'd it go, Rell? How did balling go off?
He actually went from balling and then he played.
I played the
box right afterwards.
Yeah.
And the place erupted.
Yeah.
The place erupted. Like I was just like, okay, this is too. He's saying he went through all this stress, but he made it look effortless. Like if anyone was looking at him, they'd been like, he's doing this shit in his sleep right now. Right. You know what I mean? He was looking at him, but it was dope, man. Like I said, I did Grand Park. My set was at Grand Park downtown, which was dope. Like my set was an hour and 15 minutes or some shit like that. We had a couple thousand people out there show up, turn up with us. Shout out to my brother, KG Superstar. He was on the mic. And we went in, just played a bunch of the hits throughout the different decades. And we got off the stage. The other two DJs, actually your boy Crucial. Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the guys, one of the cats that went on after us.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we bounced, and like I said, I hit Nitrane earlier today because I had a couple people with me that were like, yo, same thing. Like, what you guys doing? What you doing? I said, listen, I'm down here. My set's over at 10:30. I don't know what I'm doing afterwards. I could figure out a situation, but we might just go back to the crib, get high, and just do the countdown that way.
Do there.
But yeah, luckily I hit Train up, and he was like, "Yo, come through." He set the lob up, man. If it wasn't as easy to get into his spot because of him, I would have went home.
Right.
Because we all know the night. Like people want crazy. Minimum $50, $60 to even walk through the door. So I was like, listen, what's the situation? Blah blah blah. Like. And, they let my boy in, and he had a sweatsuit on. Like, he had sweatpants and a hoodie on. And I was like, and part of me told me that I should tell him not to do that because he's known to do shit like that. But I was like, nah, he'll know a little bit better because I didn't know I was unsure if they were going to let me in because I had a hoodie on, but I had a pink coat over it. So they didn't trip about me. And then I saw cats in there with like t-shirts and shit on. So I was like, all right, he'll be straight with the casual wear. And he walked in and I saw him. I said, nigga, they let you in? He was like, yeah. And I was like, you see me? I was like, man, I was like, hey, bro. Listen, man. I was like, you know what? More power to you, bro.
I'm happy, bro. I'm glad they let him in.
We got in. So, yeah, we showed up there and we turned up with Nitrane.
It was fun.
We had a good time, man.
It was fun. Like, it was good to just have, your friends in there for sure.
Well, after Rell declined my offer to buy,
I would not
pay for his hotel room.
Mickey was going to Costa Mesa after doing a set that I was done at 10:30 in downtown LA. And I don't know if you guys know this.
No, I'm not mad at that at all. I understand. I just had to make it enticing.
I appreciate it. And like I said, if I hadn't had to deal with all the street closures and all that stuff like that, I would have been
sounds
there.
like
I'm only traveling if I have a gig. Like, that's it. Thank you, by the way, for covering for me.
I legit looked up how long it would take. I just typed in Grand Park. I just sent them a screenshot of the route.
You'd be here in time now. I
said, bro, it just says 40 minutes.
My guy
that sounds like some girlfriend type shit.
Hey, man. Don't be jealous.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can see a girlfriend that's like, nah, you can make it. Look, I'm looking it up right now. You can make it.
We can make that 10:45 movie time.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Speaking of experience,
I didn't make it there, but how was your night?
No, it was crazy. Shout out to Mansion, B-Dot, of course, for co-headlining, rocking the night with me. It's so funny because I can speak about it now. And shout out to my boy, Sung, Myron, and Chris Cruz, who are OGs in the game, for sure. Have thrown some of the most amazing parties. And there is no hesitation on the amount of alcohol they pour into anybody's system. And so that kind of already set me up for what kind of a night I was going to have. And my set was over, or our set. The way I wanted to set it up was, and I could say it, like I said, we can say it now. B-Dot, this is his first New Year's gig. He's still getting his feet warm or feet wet. And the team at Mansion was a little like kind of like is he ready? Is he not ready? They don't know, right? I've seen B-Dot do his thing a couple times. I'm like, no, he's fine. But just to make everybody comfortable and not, have B-Dot just like get the pressure of that like segue 11 to 11:45, if you will, or to 12 of the countdown and all that stress. I was like, yo, let's just do like a back-to-back. Like I'll play 15:20, you'll play 15:20, and then we'll just vibe it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he did run into some issues because it was an SL4 box. And the driver was not wanting to work with his situation. So his shit wouldn't load up. Benefit to him, all of his shit's on a hard drive. So as soon as he plugged into my laptop, we just used one laptop. His crates popped up. Just had to stay down in his crates and he's straight.
Yeah.
So this whole build up, right? And I was all not bragging, but definitely highlighting that I spent all night working on this edit, sent it to you for the countdown and everything else. And the lighting guy made a video for it. He's showing me the video for the countdown before we walk in. And I'm like, damn, the video's fire. Like, it's going to be dope. Can't wait. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to play the song. I'm like, great. Like, leaves it out of my hands. I don't have to worry about syncing up with you, whatever. Yeah. This guy comes up to me 5 minutes before the countdown goes, my computer's acting up. And I'm like, yo, what? And he goes, he goes, my computer's acting up. I need you to play the song. I was like, all right, bet, whatever, right? Keep in mind, the drinks have been flowing. Everybody's having a good time. Yeah. So I'm like kind of rushing because it's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And party's cracking. Like it was a great party, good energy. You could play almost anything. It was really one of those nights. But as I'm trying to type for the song, I forgot what I even named it. Number one. And then number two, I have Ableton on one user profile, and then I don't have it on my DJ profile.
Damn.
So I would have had to log out and then hope that that's still playing. I don't even know if that's possible. So I don't want to risk it.
So, yeah.
And then I couldn't find it. And I just had to play an edit I had for the countdown. That was just like the basic situation.
Damn, all that work.
Trust it. And Myron, and I love you to death, bro. I love you for everything. But he was so mad / disappointed, like frustrated. And I could see it in him. And it was one of those moments as a DJ where you're just like, damn, like I feel really bad about this. And it hit me like the next day, the whole day, I felt really bad about it. Regardless that we had a great night, and I'll cover that a little more if it's not too long for you, Joe. But,
I'll let you know after I listen to
it. But after that, it was all good. And once you realize like you can't worry about what you can't control, it's over with. Yeah. And there was a great night. Like you just got to keep it moving. So as a DJ, I think those are the key moments and that you learn from. But with that being said, B-Dot did a great job.
Dope.
Okay. He did his thing.
Shout out.
Shout out to B-Dot. Give him his flowers. We had a great night. He definitely brought way more people than we expected. And so we definitely went through all of our comps very quickly. And so for midnight, they were having a control issue with the stage and they weren't letting some of my people on. So I was like, yo, if I pop a bottle right now, would you guys let my people on the stage? And they're like, F it, like we'll take a risk because they rented out a ton of equipment.
What?
So they didn't want to risk the equipment stuff. So I was like, yo, run my car, whatever.
Miki, run the car.
So we popped this bottle right at midnight.
No.
Oh, hold on. And I did play ballin'.
As you should.
Working. Okay. After I scratched it a bunch because the edit was over. So
Wait a minute, what?
No, when the edit for the countdown.
It was over?
I
should have sent you mine because I made an edit.
Of my
ballin'.
edit?
Yeah. I didn't have to cue ballin'. I just attached it at the end. Yeah. And
I wanted it to settle down. Stuff. But yeah, I get that. Okay.
I still want to hear it. I played the little New Year's thing. Like I let that run for a little bit, but then it just had this like dramatic end and then it's like mustard on a beat.
You got to send that over to me.
Yeah. Easy. Next year.
Yeah, next year. And so basically, for the night, it was that moment. And then you're there for a minute. Our set's over at 1. There's this like Tupperware off to the side of the booth, and it had blueberry muffins in them, and they were small.
And Jenna made them.
No, those were fire, by the way. Shout out to Jenna. Fire
organic
blueberry
blueberries. I
muffins.
appreciate it.
They were like these size, like nice and fulfilling one muffin. The reason I bring that up is because these muffins were tiny, and I was like, "Yo, what are these muffins doing up here?" It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have
over here like,
my dinner.
What's those?
Yo,
with these muffins?
my dinner was literally a Lunchables because I was in such a rush of like everything. Yes, I still have a Lunchable if there's a rush, but the grown up ones, it's like
I take them to the airport.
Okay, thank you. I feel better about that now.
I don't.
No judgment.
No
Going
judgment.
to Hudson and
Look.
the airport.
Pay double the price now, man. We passed that, man. We
Hudson
saving money in
News.
2020. We saving money in 2020.
I just want to get past TSA. Don't ask me about my apples. Before you go ask me about my Lunchables, I gotta tell you what I'm eating. You gonna stop me?
You're like, where's the kid with you?
Right? Nah.
I'm the kid.
That's definitely suspicious.
I leave my house just in time to walk onto the plane.
As long as it ain't a liquid, you're good. I brought meals on plane, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy.
He is that guy, by the way.
That's a whole plane smelling like
No,
oatmeal.
I'm sorry, not on the plane, but just past TSA, and I eat it past TSA. I don't bring it on, and I throw it out.
Like pop it open in the middle of the flight.
Nah, go ahead.
Back to these muffins.
Right.
I asked, what's up with these muffins? Because I'm hungry. I'm a big guy. They eat. Okay, whatever. So I'm like, yo, what is this? And then B-Dot goes, oh, they're my Dotables. Okay. Dotables are 10 times stronger than the legal amount of what I'm talking about.
Edible.
Okay. They're homemade. Okay. I don't know if my parents watch this show, so I'm going to keep it light.
It's cool. They know you with God.
Yeah. Amen. So I have one and it's delicious. And I'm like,
let me get another one.
Hold on. No idea how many I had. All I remember is the next day, like let's just say once I had that one, call it 10 minutes later, I woke up. Like fully dressed with like McDonald's in the counter, untouched. I'm just
Hell
like,
yeah. Happy New Year. That's how we're stepping into 2020.
Hey,
what a night.
I'm trying to pod, okay?
Yeah. 2020.
Pod away.
Fully dressed, phones are dead. McDonald's,
man.
The Coke lid wasn't even touched. Like it was just right there. It looked like it was out of a commercial. So everything kind of comes back. I remember the walking out, waiting on the bartenders to close out their tabs or tips, and I'm just chilling. At some point, I got in a Lyft. In the Lyft, I get to McDonald's drive-thru. I talk to the sweet drive-thru lady, make a couple jokes, blah blah blah. Don't recall how I got to my room, but I got there and I FaceTimed, somebody. And, whatever, had a couple conversations with a couple friends.
Hold on, you took a lift from Costa Mesa to your crib?
No. They got me a room. They got me a room. It was like 5 minutes away.
I was about to say, that's a different tax bracket.
So,
like The Hangover. You're trying to retrace your steps, right? What the hell you did.
No, but it's crazy because it starts to like hit you, right? And then you start piecing it together. You go through your like texts, you go through your like FaceTime history, and it all starts to just come all together. And then I remember the muffins. And then all I remember is asking, and I hit up, and that's when I FaceTime B-Dot. He was like halfway to Arizona already. And I'm like, yo, what was up with those muffins? He's like, bro, all I know is you grabbed them, you were offering people, and I had one, but I made 10. There was none left.
Jesus.
You just laced some people. You didn't even know.
You got some muffins?
I'm not.
That was really, they're delicious.
Muffin guy.
Delicious.
Mickey was the Muffin Man.
That should be your alter ego.
There you go.
Mickey the Muffin Man.
Anyway, fellas, I love y'all. Happy New Year.
What a great way to bring in the year, right?
It was quite an adventure. I'm proud that I'm here.
Yeah,
we're proud that
it was an
too.
interesting night, and I recap mostly over through the Instagram.
Yeah,
and there was just certain of my friends caught some amazing moments that I'm like,
I didn't get no moments from.
You had a countdown?
No, I'm talking about like content wise.
Oh,
yeah. Now that I think about it,
you didn't get fed no content. Yeah.
Yeah, like how people have those like little videos.
Yo, here's a video. I tagged you, whatever.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them. There was a couple I wasn't sharing, but there was a couple good ones.
I wish I would have seen this muffin thing, though.
Bro.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
Great.
That would have been great.
As a kite, my brothers. I was out.
I feel you. As a giraffe's ass, as I would say.
Jesus.
What?
High as a giraffe's ass.
Well done. All right.
Yeah.
Joseph, how was your New Year's Eve?
I really should have went first on my New Year's Eve because
sorry, bro.
Y'all sounds 10 times more hyped than me.
No, you were.
For those that don't know, well, I was in Big Bear, but for those that don't know, Big Bear is is the closest you're gonna get to snow if you're in Southern California. It's in the mountains, so I was up there just
Very
chilling
well done
with.
to educate our listeners.
Yeah, because not everyone's from LA.
I
know we talk in a bubble here.
I had a huge geographical mistake this past weekend, but it was.
Would you thought something else was Big Bear, or you thought Big Bear was something else?
So
Mammoth? Did you confuse?
He's like,
Big
yo, we
Bear
got
and
this
Mammoth?
gig for you in Paris. That's a California joke.
Yeah, it's a Riverside.
Riverside.
Ain't no Eiffel Towers in that Paris.
Going to France? Oh shit! Y'all covering flights?
I'm gonna have crepes in the morning.
Not quite. Not quite.
I'm sorry I cut you off.
It's good. It's good. Whatever makes this pod better.
Because I don't know if you guys saw, a lot of people were in Ghana over this past month.
You did fuck up. I caught that.
And I had a few friends link up in Ethiopia. So I wasn't there. So there was just like a magical link up, two people that don't know each other, but they have me in common.
Yeah.
So found out they knew me. They did the whole Instagram video, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
So I reposted it and I said, "Look at all my friends in Ghana having fun without me."
Yeah.
And I don't have my notifications on my Instagram. So I didn't know. I let that be.
Yeah.
But apparently that went off and everybody was just like laughing like, this something is not in Ghana, like just it's in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Honest mistake, but I got shredded for it.
Hey.
So
I was gonna catch up with y'all, but I was in Paris, France. I was in Paris, France, and I just couldn't. The routing didn't make sense.
I was gonna fix it, but
No, you gotta let it live.
one person, he does podcasts a lot, so I'm gonna shred him. Is Amin Al Hassan. I fucking hate you because he made all these Carmen San Diego memes about me. But that's my
amazing.
brother. He has a way bigger platform and he can shred me.
Yeah.
He's got a blue check, so I can't really get back at him. But I'm coming into your podcast world, bro, and I fucking hate you.
Use the platform, baby.
But I'm sorry. Back to Paris, California.
Actually, Big Bear. Close.
It's on the way.
It's on the way, yeah. Yeah, man. I was chilling with my uncle. It was we didn't even do a countdown. Sam was knocked out by like 11:30 on the couch. I'm just talking with my uncle. I really, really enjoyed that moment because I'm so used to being in hype atmospheres and, just the club shit. So fire was lit, decoration, Christmas decoration. Like it was just a real dope. And in the morning we woke up and hit the snow.
Nice.
And he's just got a backyard that goes on forever. And so we were sledding and got a little snowball fight with my godson who was like 12 years old.
That was a massacre.
Hold on. For those that don't know, Joseph Hampel is a collegiate baseball player.
Yes.
Pitcher.
Yes.
Okay, he was a pitcher.
That's not my bag anymore.
The man has an arm for a weapon. I know. I used to catch the balls. Pause.
That's true.
Hey.
That's true. That's true.
Or sometimes I wouldn't catch them because they were.
Yeah, you were dodging them.
I hated it.
He was dodging them more than catching them.
Quite by far. It might be some of the reasons why I throw fucking terrible shots at Joe. He hit me with balls.
That's true.
Anyway, go ahead.
Baseball.
Finish your story.
Oh, great.
No, I just told him don't hit me in the face, because that ain't cool. Blah, blah, blah. That was the only rule, and if they're ice, don't throw ice balls. Just make sure. But it was so hot that day that you got good like snowballs, and we're just throwing them back and forth. And I threw one at him. He was helpless and vulnerable, and I chucked one at him, but I threw it at his hands that were covering his face. And I think the spray, when the blast of the snowball went all over his face, and I think he was just in shock.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
He threw a change up at his face.
But I don't think he's ever had a snowball hit his face. So the little bit of ice that hit his face, I think he just like,
He got scared.
he got shook.
Yeah.
So he cried and he ran off. And Sam's like, go check. I was like, nah, he's good. Let me get back on the sled. Let me just hit this, thing one more time.
Asshole.
So then I checked on him after the one sled down. I caught air, boom, boom, So I went to go check on him. And he was like, you hit me in the face. I said, man, your face was covered. You're fine. Stop being a little and get back out there, Tough love, because I know what he was going through. He's like, all right. And he went back out there and we were good.
All right. You still hit him with a chain.
But no, I looked like I was throwing him hard, but I wasn't trying to hit him.
Put the two
When I was throwing it hard,
bro.
when I was throwing it hard, I was just trying to scare him.
Man, we saw the hip twitch.
And the
bro.
funny thing, Sam is like 30 yards out, and I'm launching him.
Dak Prescott.
Sam probably had a radar gun on him.
Sam was 30 yards out on her ass, just like doing whatever, and I'm chucking them at her. And she's like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
They still hurt.
Joe was out there
man.
sledding and throwing snowballs in a short sleeve shirt.
Oh, wow.
Yo,
Yeah.
I've never been in snow like in weather like this. So I've been in snow, but there was so much snow from the day before.
Yeah.
And so it built up. And that morning it was so hot outside. All the snow was melting, but there was still a lot, but the rest of it was soft. So I'm like, damn, I walked out there with a sweater and a jacket and a scarf. I'm like, it's hot out here. So I took it off. I'm out there in just a regular shirt and we're
like
chucking
shorts and
snowballs
Uggs or
at each other. Huh? No, I had on my Timbs and some sweats
My bad.
and a regular tee.
That's what
dead
But I was
ass
like,
out
man, this feels good. Like to be in the snow. What's that?
So you were dead ass out.
And plus we're running around. So I was like, yeah. So it was comfortable
built
out
up,
there
yeah.
throwing the snowballs and no
I've
sweat.
never
around.
really been to the snow right there.
That's
I've
LA
been in snowy
people.
conditions. Like
You ain't
minus,
missing nothing.
Yeah.
Rell grew up in snow, but he grew up in snow. He
Rell
hated
took a
it.
subway and had a heater. He's fine.
Damn, he
Fuck
taking
that
all
shit.
that away from you, man. You Mr. New York, man. You don't just,
Man.
You say go smell a sewer.
Yeah,
That's
you good,
fine,
bro.
Yeah, man.
Nah, all my friends from New York always get on my ass about that. Like, you didn't have to walk to school in negative
Shoveling
10
snow.
degree.
Man,
Yeah, I'm
man.
like,
It's a different life when you got to live in that
now
shit.
they all living out here.
Yeah, that's why we all living out here.
Yeah.
So don't, you're fine, bro.
Yeah.
You made it out.
we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
Where were we? The first time I saw snow ever in life. This is
DC.
True DC.
Yeah, I was
That's
with
right.
you.
We were together.
You did a snow angel, and it was slush.
Yo, I didn't know the
actually-
difference between slush and like soft and hard snow. So
You learned that day, huh?
I learned big time. I do remember Joe clowning me for bringing Tim's. Like she's like, bro, you don't really. And we hit there. I think you were like slipping.
You're like, Who's the captain now, motherfucker?
Boy, his crib walking out there in the snow.
Oh, you know why? You know why I didn't pack like that? Because we were going to Miami right after.
Oh
that.
yeah,
That's
right.
why when am I going to bring Tim's for one day or
Like a
like
couple
you know
days.
thick
Yeah.
shoes like that for one day?
no, that was New York. We went to Spinbad, then Miami. People forget
Yeah,
at Mood Swing office, and then we went to WMC.
yeah.
People still go to WMC.
I don't think
No.
That's still a
Does
thing.
it even still go on?
Ultra's the thing, and it ain't
yeah.
even Ultra that's popping. It's the parties around Ultra that's popping.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like Art Basel.
Yeah.
Is that how it is now?
I mean, I've never been to Art Basel.
That seems to be
That's it. I was like,
the familiar pattern of all festivals. It's like it's not with the exception of a few big ones, but it's
Yeah.
not so much the festival everybody goes to. It's the parties
after
around,
parties, yeah.
after parties and the parties during.
Yeah,
festival.
I think Coachella's be coming at for sure. It's like all
Yeah.
of the parties.
We heard Coachella.
Yeah. I've never been to Coachella, but I've done like events around it. So
Yeah.
You've done the events
went-
around?
yeah, like I've done 2, which was last year, which was like my first time even going out there for that weekend.
And those events are probably like they're normally filled with like a ton of the artists and celebrities and all the different things, right?
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
God, can I not transition smoothly without this guy calling me out?
No, you can't, because we're friends, and I know where the hell you going.
Yo, they one step ahead of us on this pod, man.
It was Mickey's idea to have you on the show. Just let you know that.
Yes,
He said, "I know what Mickey's up to. Yeah, I'll be on the
I'll be
show.
here.
Yeah, Mickey.
I know your tricks, but I'll be on the show."
It was right. I know your tricks, but I'll be on the show. No, yes, it was a Beyonce party. Mickey Miki. If that's what you would.
Damn, I wasn't even going there. Give me one spot. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, you did. Look at it. You
So
did.
anyway,
Nah, but a lot of festivals are definitely becoming, you know.
If he would have said it was a B party,
right.
that would have been lit.
Nah,
Just would have said B.
Nah, because that just makes me look like a douche.
Right.
Like, oh, it's B's party.
You're
not
not
about
to be
I'm
hot,
not even
man.
in that circle. Like, I'm not calling her B.
You're in the hive.
I'm not in the hive, but shout out to the hive.
Shout out to the hive. He's like, don't want them on
Clean that up. Clean that up real quick.
Real comfy, quick. Yeah, no, for real. But no, a lot of like festivals are more about the parties now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it lets different brands kind of be involved officially, unofficially,
Right.
for that weekend. So it's a different outlet, I guess, for DJs, performers who are not booked on the festival to be a part of the festival still somehow, or the weekend itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there was like progress? Have you guys looked at the lineup?
For Coachella?
I think it looks
glanced
pretty
at it.
good. They got Rage, which is incredible.
Yeah. Got Jid and Ari, which is fire.
Who's headlining the last of the Sunday?
Frank Ocean?
Frank Ocean,
Rage,
yeah.
Frank,
And then
Travis.
they got a big name doing the Saturday.
Travis Scott.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
That's
I
cool.
thought Travis
I
and
think
Frank were on
bringing
the same
Rage
day.
is like,
Yeah.
that's straight. Like, that's such a big deal for music lovers.
I feel like that changed the energy because like normally people like years past, like, because who they're like Ariana Grande. And it's like,
But she was a fill-in for Kanye or some
Wouldn't it be
shit.
fire if Drake came out? No, I'm just fucking with you.
Drake came out during
Instead of Frank Ocean?
during Frank Ocean said, what if he came out during the Do They Boo Him?
Do they move?
he should totally intro Frank
That'd be
Ocean.
great.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be fire.
Why did I just say totally? Whack.
Totes.
Totes. Wow.
You're so LA. You're so
All
hard.
right. I got my legs crossed. Toast.
So I'm curious because we were kind of talking about this, and you know we've all been in different scenarios with different artists and celebrities in the room, and like your Bay party, what's like the prep like
Bay party.
for
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bay?
Don't act like you don't know.
Nah, that went over my head. I was thinking Bay Area.
I added too many letters.
So you got Rell sleeping over
for
there.
B's party.
You don't want to hear this. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like for a party like that, am I asking this right? Like,
Well, so some time ago, I was in a situation, and I've already explained it to all of you, but for our listeners, I was in a situation where I went to see an artist perform, and there was a hip hop DJ that's known for doing hip hop parties, or when there's an artist there. So I asked the booker about the situation. He said, once upon a time, we had one of the biggest artists at our club, and he did not get on the mic because, and we didn't understand why. He was, I don't know if it was a part of the deal or not, but he just denied the mic, and the booker didn't understand why. And then the booker later realized it was because his headliner, who was a resident for the company, wasn't playing music that catered to the interests of the artist.
Yeah.
And so that's when you realize, it's not so much as unfamiliar. Well, I guess you can say it is. It's unfamiliar to the artist. It's kind of foreign to to the energy that they're getting from the club. You know, if you got EDM playing and there's a hip hop artist, he's like, I'm good, I'm a chill. And he's already in the cut.
Right.
Like these big names, when they go to this club, they don't want to be on that front couch where everyone can see them. They like to chill in the cut. So then the second time around, they had a different big artist, and they booked that hip hop DJ. And the hip hop DJ, so then the artist got on the mic, and the night went exactly how they wanted to go. So that made me raise a question of what's the proper etiquette when you have an artist in the club, and whether he's hosting, whether he's performing, or whether he's just showing up. He shows up and he's dropping 10K on a table, or whatever it is. Do you change your format of the club? Do you if it's a super open format club where you playing EDM and throwbacks or whatever,
Right.
are you sticking to hip hop? You know, because that's a hip hop artist.
Right.
I got one. Well, I mean, I have a lot of stories with Redfoo, but one that really sticks out, and I think it's really dope. The Miami Heat were. This is when we were on tour with LMFAO. We were in Miami. We show the Miami Heat just beat the Maverick. Oh no, the Spurs. And Thursday night at Live was known, and this is when Live was on top of the world. 2012, yeah. Thursday night is all EDM, and places jumping, and it's all EDM heads. The Miami Heat win the championship, and they go straight to Live.
Oh yeah, you gotta change that. Yeah,
Live was like, okay, thank you EDM guys. DJ Irie's gonna take it from here because LeBron James is here, Dwayne, like the whole squad's here, and they're celebrating.
For sure,
we're turning this into a hip hop night from here on out. Yeah. And the EDM guys are like, cool, we got our checks.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah. I understand where you're going with that. There's really a lot of answers to that. There's a fine line. I wouldn't say it's etiquette. There is etiquette, of course, of being professional and kind of, if you're a DJ and you're coming into a situation where, say, the Lakers win a championship and they want to go to the club and it's an all EDM club. And I'm sitting at home and I get a call like, hey, come work.
Because he would get that call.
He would. No, legit. No, hold on.
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, you would, nigga.
Come on.
But if as a DJ, you it's kind of tough coming in there and taking over for someone that's getting kicked out or having that conversation.
It's up to the owner,
of course,
and the owner has to say, "We're changing these. We're changing this up."
I'm getting there for sure.
Yeah, okay.
That etiquette is it's out of your hands. Like, you're there to do a job. If I'm the one getting kicked out, cool. I got my check. I'm not tripping.
Sure.
If I'm coming in and I'm the guy taking over, you can't, because I've seen this happen way too many times. Like, you can't come in there and be like, all right, it's my turn now. Like, get the fuck out of here, type of shit.
Right.
I've seen that, and you just don't do that shit.
Right.
To the owner side of it, if you see that, for example, the Lakers win a championship and your club is all EDM, and you get a call like, hey, we're coming to celebrate at your venue, that you're in a position to make a lot of money that night.
Yeah.
And if they want to hear Future on repeat, you have to make that happen.
Right.
100%.
1000%. Because you're benefiting a lot more than the players celebrating. They already won their chip. Like, they just want to come celebrate.
Yeah.
Right.
So you do have to make the artist comfortable if you're at a venue. Like with me, I'm usually behind like with Vegas and Cole gigs. Like, that's my way of playing in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say my way of playing in Vegas, but Cole will be like, I want to hear a certain song, or like, I want to hear certain songs to keep me comfortable. Cole hates the club. Like, we all know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't make club music, especially the London was fire, though. That was a great exception.
Yeah.
But to kind of bring that all into a nutshell, like, artists want to feel comfortable in a space where they're not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need that check, that club check. Maybe some do, some don't. But I'm talking about the bigger, top tier artists. Make them as comfortable as possible, because you as a venue are going to benefit. Two, they just want to have a good time. And as a DJ, if you don't get subbed out, if an artist walks in and you have to deal with that situation, just kind of be open-minded about who you have in the venue, and that could lead to many more opportunities than just that venue, So
right.
That's kind of, I understand the keeping the artist comfortable and keeping the crowd comfortable, but also the way that could snowball is if you keep the artist comfortable, the artist could go ahead and just grab the mic and give you a show
100%.
at that venue. They don't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it, as an owner of a venue, I would do anything to please them, really pause.
Yeah.
To keep them happy. As a DJ, I would be open-minded in their requests and, what they want.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, nah, this is my night.
Right.
You know, I'm playing whatever I
can
want.
see DJs doing that, but
And-
that's just ignorant.
Yeah, like
Right.
why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like
Or do the opposite and play all the songs in their category.
yeah, like
Artist walks in and then you just go off on a rant.
Yeah.
like don't
that.
like if you know if
They
you have,
tired of that shit. They
if you-
perform that shit every fucking night.
if you
Right.
have Chris Brown at your club, don't like try to finesse him into doing a whole concert by singing his songs. You know, like
Listen,
Not at the same capacity, but one of your boys, and you could had us cut it out later or not.
that's
but,
fine. Just
So Jamie Foxx came to the shop at Topanga Mall, and one of my staff, like out of nowhere, I hear like Digital
Blame It
Girl.
on- Oh, I thought he was playing Blame It.
Oh no, but like, and then I'm like thinking, like, is that a coincidence? I'm like, nah. Like, let me go to the back, and surely enough, there's like typed in Jamie Foxx. Now I'm like, this thing's about to go off and just play all this dude's records.
He's about
And
to
this
get
guy
out of there.
he's
fast.
doing some shopping, right, with his crew, and I'm just like, I look at him and I'm like, the fuck are you thinking? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do? If it goes on its own, sure, whatever. But now you got like all these other records. I'm like, yo, that's corny. Like,
Yeah, that's where
don't do all that.
Jamie's really how I learned how to maneuver with celebrities.
Yeah. And then I tried to say hi to Jamie on the way out, and he didn't even look at me. So I was like, all right.
fuck that up, buddy.
Yeah, like you play digital.
You know what? I've done it one time, but it worked in my favor, and it was actually with Cole. I was doing cherry popping. This was a minute ago.
Okay, yes,
I
like
was doing cherry popping, right? If you know cherry popping,
That's a venue that
that's a venue that like we're gonna enjoy.
yeah,
going
you're gonna
to.
do that. But I didn't, I think at the time it was like, I can't remember which one was like one of his, maybe like Can't Get Enough or something around that time or whatever.
right.
And I was like, I'm not gonna play it. That's typical. He probably performs. That's something he performs all the time.
Yeah.
I want to play what you would call some B-side shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna play some shit that he probably wouldn't even expect me to have.
Yeah.
So I think I ended up dropping in the middle of my set because it fit. It was Kenny Loggins and Chris Tucker.
Wow.
And he looked at me and he was like, okay.
Yeah,
you
nah,
know what I
he-
mean? And it was just like,
He respects like, if you're gonna go in there and play workout, like
yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a given. You know what I mean? That's
like
what I
these
was
are
like.
real people. Like that's what I had to come to terms with. Like these
Right.
are real people, and you have to. I mean, regardless of what they do and how much money they have, like they like certain things and certain songs, and sometimes they like to hear their own shit. Sometimes they don't.
Right.
But if you do it strategically, like Rell did, and
Right.
if you're playing shit like that is completely like, oh, why do you even have this? Like, or why are you even playing it right now?
Right.
It could go one or both ways. Luckily it went great, but most of the time it'll go fine.
So let me ask about this. You've been in rooms with, different collection of
Right.
celebrities.
Of course.
And have you ever had to maneuver through like, I don't know, like somebody that beefs with like a certain artist and you can't play certain
for
records?
sure.
Yeah.
1000% for sure. There's been people, there's been situations where you can't play a certain artist because this person's here, or
Right.
Sometimes someone at the party that's related to the person cutting you a check is going to request a song that probably shouldn't be played.
Right.
But you cutting the check, I'm playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I'm this is your event, you're investing and you're paying money for me to do my job. I'm going to play whatever the hell you want me to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in many situations where I've had to like maneuver. I've had a couple confrontations of why are you playing this? Granted, they've all been, minor and it didn't escalate past the conversation, but
Right.
communication is key. Like you tell them why you played this shit, like they're gonna understand. You're not in no position, no matter who you are. You're in no position to be like, especially to come to me and be like, why are you playing this shit? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you the answer, and you may not like it.
Right.
And you got to go take that up with whoever you got to take that up with.
You got nothing to do with me.
I'm doing my job. But there's, of course, like I'm not gonna go in the club and if for example, if I was around the time Meek and Drake were having a beef, if Meek comes in the club, I'm not playing back to back on repeat. Like I'm not doing that.
But imagine just being unaware of that, like a DJ just being unaware of that
he's
particular.
in the room.
No, I'm not even saying that that person's in the room, but that beef exists.
Right.
I mean,
so obviously in that situation, right? Let's we'll hypothetically talk about that situation, right? Meek walks into a room. The DJ is blind to the fact that, which would probably be mind blowing if you don't even know that they're beefing. But
back to back.
Again,
It's so
no,
disrespectful.
I'm not saying you play back to back. No, I'm not saying that because obviously, like, that's fucking clear that what that's about. I'm saying you just go on some like Drake rant, like that's probably your norm, like.
Right.
The DJ's got like, yo, I got this dope little,
Drake
5-6 song Drake set.
That shit
And
ain't
it works
even
for
worth
him
it,
or whatever,
though.
or her, and he just goes off. He or she goes off on this shit and Meek's in the building. But being completely unaware that that a beef exists.
Oh man, I feel like in this day and age as a DJ, your job is to be culturally responsible.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
Even as petty and annoying as it may be, and you be like, I don't want to know about this shit, but you have to.
Right. Like, of course, I don't want to know about half the shit y'all be doing, but like, I'm in these rooms sometimes and I have to, be respectful and maneuver around certain situations where it could be the hottest song in the country and if I can't play it, I can't play it. I'm not going to risk my career, and it's all about morals too, bro. Like, if I don't like somebody and they have the hottest song and I'm paying you to do a job, why would you do that? Like, why would you place, like, why would you rob me of that happiness? Like, we're there to provide a good time. Why would you even want to do that?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not risking my career or, like my friendship or my relationship with you over a fucking social media moment.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing that. But sorry he played Digital Girl at your store, bro.
Look, I had a conversation with Stab. I'm like, look, man, don't be pulling up songs for artists that pull up. Like, it's just not.
Nah, man. Well, I'm super thankful though for that time me doing Jamie stuff because that taught me a lot on how to be around these celebrities or, how to maneuver around situations like that where there's people in a room that have unspoken beef about, and it taught me how to play for hours and hours and hours because I remember getting there at 7 p.m. and leaving at 8 a.m.
Jesus.
So, that time taught me a lot about longevity, relationships, and
did they feed you?
What? This man had all types
Intermittent
of catering, all types of catering,
break.
chef.
Bathroom break.
Nah, man.
There's some physical things that we're concerned about here. About that set time.
Labor laws or some shit.
Labor laws.
At what point did you start getting time and a half?
Nah, it's funny because sometimes it would be a whole party going on and come 3-4 a.m. motherfuckers are all down at the basketball court because Tank and Jamie Foxx and Trey Songz are betting on a fucking basketball shot and the whole party's down at the basketball court. Like, so that's my time to
and you're up there playing Digital Girl.
Yeah, I'm up there
just
playing.
To get it out of the way.
Blame it.
Just to get Just get it out of the way.
Blame it on the juice on loop. So that time in my life definitely, and thank God it was early on because, I made my mistakes with, music or I didn't have a certain song that they requested. Like that taught me everything about being open-minded with music, thinking that, I'm not going to play this. Why do I have it on my laptop? No, there's going to be a moment where somebody's going to want this. So,
well, I think being in LA, you really have to be on your toes because anybody who's anybody could walk in.
Yeah.
And I've given this example at least once or twice, but as far as I know, Orator DJs when James Harden's going to be around, or James Harden goes to Orator's venues, and Orator, he's told me personally that he keeps an eye on everything James Harden does on Snapchat 1000%. And Instagram. Because and what I mean by that is he keeps an eye on the music that James Harden is dancing to, and then he goes out and does his research. So just when James Harden's in town or whatever, off season, he's got those songs ready to go for James. And make sure he's comfortable.
I think that's something that, I mean, there's really not many DJs that can speak on certain events like that, but we definitely do our research when it comes to those type of things. Like, if I'm doing a Kardashian event, like I'll go see what Kylie's playing on her fucking Snapchat or Instagram story.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just so I at least have it, you know.
Right.
I may not, you know, it may not be a situation where I'm going to play it.
Right.
Rather be safe than sorry.
But yeah,
Always.
rather be safe than sorry. Like, yeah, we definitely do our research. It's not just going to like record pools and downloading anymore, at least for DJs in that world.
But if you were to go to a record pool, you probably go to DJ City and
1000%. What? I was on DJ City stealing my mom's credit card, paying for my membership. You know, sorry, Mom.
Your mom's credit card.
What, bro? Listen,
and she has the fitness bill on there.
DJ
24-hour
City.
Listen, man, I've been on DJ City since like 08 maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Like I didn't have my own fucking money coming up like as a teenager, as a kid. So, yeah, I was like, Mom, I need this. She'd be like, nah. For what? I'm like, I need this. And she's like, all right, if you need it, I got you.
Right.
And I remember it was $90 every 3 months.
Yeah.
So, you
Still
know,
is.
trying to ask your mom to give you $90 every 3 months.
What do you need $90 for?
Exactly. So, you know, my mom knows we've had this convo. It's so funny.
It's about that time. I need that 90.
Oh, she's gotten back more than that for sure. But you know, it's not going just to record pools anymore. It's more of researching what they're playing on social media or you know, or even their friends.
Yeah.
You know, who are you around and what are they playing?
Yeah.
So that's a research factor that does.
Well, even bringing it down to, you know, down a level from the celebs, right? And the extension of them. I remember early on social media, it was like, I was being really, I'm obviously speaking for myself, but like I was being really picky about who I followed or whatever, right? And then now it's like, if like there's a contact or connection or any sort of like a run to and you put out positive content, like, yeah, I'll follow you. Not a problem with that. But to bring it full circle, like people who, you know, I work with at venues, like I'll follow them and pay attention to what they're posting musically too, because half the time they're the ones that are also helping book me.
Sure.
So I want to know what they're into, and then
Definitely,
I might bring that into the mix.
Looking at what Jermaine's playing, huh?
Jermaine, my boy Sam, you know, who's like, you know, guys who like pick stuff up and they're curators also in their own way, like putting stuff on that's early. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Shout out to Maine, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Maine. I get it
out.
though, because it's hard to do that room. Like it's, you know.
I mean,
and now they got you going on at like 12 now, so it's not even 12:30.
Now?
Yeah. That's what I was told. Like you got to be there at 12 now. I'd show up at 12:25, get on at 12:30, and call it a day.
Listen,
you know.
True.
But yeah, you know, you got to do your research. See, you know, what promoters are listening to, what talent bookers are listening to.
Yeah.
You know, if it fits and it's something you could play, or if it's like, you know, towards the end of the night and you throw it in there, like you definitely get points for that for sure.
Yeah.
That's something you have to be mindful of.
For sure.
Yeah. You ever have a arrogant moment where, let's say, not so top tier artist walked into the spot you're spinning and someone was like, yo, such and such is in the building. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
like you know what I mean? Like,
man, I'm very respectful when it comes to that.
I've done it.
No, for sure. You have that.
But
you have that.
But
come on, man.
Personality.
Joe's out here in 2020.
To my favorite though, the artist that walked in, their music doesn't fit the spot that I was
Spectacular
spinning.
From Pretty Ricky.
I was at Playhouse. I was spinning at Playhouse, and Flo Rida walked in.
Huh?
I was at Playhouse. I was spinning at Playhouse, and Flow Rider walked in.
Oh, I see. Yeah, never
You know
mind,
what I'm
go
saying?
ahead.
I'm not playing no Flow Rider shit.
What's that house song you have?
Flow Rider walked in when I was at ballet
house.
recently.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I get it. Yo, he's here. He had a whole section, and someone tapped me and was just like, "Yo, Flow Rider's here." Okay, nigga, what? You want me to play Get Low?
Yeah,
You know
you're
what
not
you
playing
want me to
Apple
do?
Bottom
You know
jeans.
what's
Moving
Interesting
What you want me
about
to do?
Flow Rider, back in Lollipop Mondays when it got moved to Colony, he had his album release party there, but it was an EDM top 40 album.
Right.
But he was releasing a Lollipop Monday, which was a pure hip hop.
That's a label move
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's a label
I was
move.
like,
I think label might have paid the check. I was too
Probably.
young for Lollipop Mondays, so I never went. But that
Oh,
might have been
we
like,
was in there like it was part of our religion.
It
nah,
was.
man.
It was.
I wish
Time
I
of my
would have.
life.
I wish it's different generation.
no, welcome to my house.
My house.
It was 70 BPM.
Ain't that
Right.
a Pitbull song?
Time of my life.
Yo,
Though.
shout
See,
out,
you could have
right?
dropped that one, but no, you couldn't.
No, and that song wasn't
Absolutely
even out
not.
at the time. That song he hadn't even put that
Shout
song out
out,
by the time.
but that just reminded me. Shout out to Phenom for having me do a mix for Pitbull's.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
Globalization.
Yeah. Was it you,
Yeah.
Bella? Who
Yeah.
else did it?
I'm not sure.
A lot of other big names.
See,
Um,
Diplo.
Yeah.
No?
Diplo, I think Joe Moss.
Diplo did do it. Yep.
Joe Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a nice little
Nice.
cast.
Yeah.
Good job, Fino.
Yeah, no, that was dope. That was a really good lineup. And I had fun doing that mix.
Are you going to post it? Where can we find it?
Should I?
You should. I
feel
mean,
like
if it's not your bag,
one
if it's
thing-
not your lane, then
Nah, I mean, it's not even about like what's a lane anymore. Like
Yeah.
we live in a world where it's just so open,
Right.
Yeah.
and you can do really whatever you
talk
want.
that talk.
That's right.
But I definitely do feel like mixes where the past couple years were falling off. Nobody was really putting out mixes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And that got me started mix for sure that I did. It was probably the first mix that I did that wasn't so thought out and didn't have no wordplay because that was stopping me from putting out mixes for a very long time.
Because it had to have a certain
I
concept.
felt like
to
it had to have a theme, a
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Now, like when I did that Got Me Started mix, I feel like a lot, thankfully I got a lot of people hitting me back like, that was like their inspiration for throwing more mixes out there. So
There you go.
I kind of hope that a lot more DJs definitely do that.
Well, you brought the level down, of expectations.
For sure, 1,000%. 1,000%. Like
Okay.
I thank you for putting
Mike is
something
our
out that
guest.
was so trash.
I know we're
That I
we're
could top
in
it.
and we're done
Look,
with him, but
Nitrane
you don't
and
need
I-
to bash our guests. All right?
He's like,
Bro.
shit.
That just shows a love in this room, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If we ain't
Nothing but
bashing
that
you, we don't
just-
really
look,
love you.
Yo,
Like that.
facts,
Exactly.
bro.
That should show.
I tell my girlfriend all the time, man.
I say that shit all the time.
I'm not
Listen,
bad.
that don't work.
I
That don't
love
work.
you.
well.
She was like, listen, you're an asshole, but you shit on me more than anybody. I said, that means because I love you.
I love you.
man.
I want you to be the best version of you.
Exactly.
Damn.
So if I got to call out the bad
I'm
parts,
going to call him out. It is what it is.
Nah, but I just hope y'all don't shit on anybody else and y'all continue to put out shitty mixes.
yeah, that's right.
Listen, I haven't
Nah,
done that
but
in years.
for real-
But yeah.
Putting out mixes is definitely a goal that I want to keep doing this
Yeah.
year. But I don't know if I want to put that one out. I'm not one that's like gonna sit
Well-
there and clean shit up.
Well, what do you have to lose by putting it out?
Nothing really. I don't know. I just don't know if there was like a exclusivity thing I have to ask about.
Absolutely
No,
not. No, there isn't.
you everyone posts.
We all
their-
know.
Yeah, in fact, I do a horrible job at putting them on Mixcloud. I should be putting them on Mixcloud at least once a month.
I tried the
don't.
Mixcloud thing, but it did not work.
In
He's
what
a
way?
SoundCloud guy.
It like,
Oh, well, wherever. I'm just saying, put it
Yeah,
up somewhere.
I put this. I put a skit or something at the beginning of my mixes for like 10 seconds.
Like you
I'm about to
talking to
give y'all
Kylie about what to
But
play.
SoundCloud's not flagging DJ mixes no more like
I
that.
heard about
They
that.
kind of
Yeah.
still are.
Are they?
'Cause I seen a couple people.
I mean, unless you start your mix with a Drake track. then
What about
by all means.
Spotify?
putting them on Spotify.
Can you can put them on Spotify now? Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
They're actually.
Just gotta
I
have
don't know
the
if
thing
I
in
s-
the back end,
I
right?
think Apple Music is doing something
Also, no, you've been there, but do it.
DJ like focused where it's not like uploading them on podcasts though.
Mm.
It's like a feature that I think they're gonna put out where it's DJ focused, and
We don't get those calls.
bro, you get invited to the Steve Jobs thing. No, I'm fucking with
You got the free phone.
you. No, you
12.
got 2 phones.
Hey, Mike be acting like he don't get invited to Sunday service. So
You
Talk
got
to him.
invited. Okay,
Talk to
I'm
him.
not even gonna
One time.
because we're not even gonna
And he
speak on.
denied it. That's how. And he declined it. That's how bossy.
We're not speaking on anything.
He was at Kanye's house, like chilling.
Actually, his Sunday service did open up for me recently.
There it is. See?
This nigga.
But he didn't want to wear a light shade of teal.
he said, "I got all black. Don't show up with that devil."
Sunday service opened up for Nitrane. All right,
Nitrane's look like a step
let's get that
fresh
out
out of
there.
hell.
Nah, no shot. But
All
I
black.
got to see them perform recently. That was fire.
All right, they opened up for you.
They opened up for me.
Yeah.
At the Kardashian Christmas party.
What's
There it
Taco
is.
Tuesdays like at the Kardashians?
A lot of tacos. I don't
A
know.
lot of
They
tacos.
probably got a nice little chef with
Yeah.
making you tacos, yellowtail tacos,
Hey.
all types of fancy shit. I don't
Funny thing is, when you're driving that way, you're passing by my house, so you can swoop me up next time.
Where do you
'Cause I'm
live?
trying to
I
get
thought
some
you lived in
tacos.
Arleta.
Nah,
These are
North Hills.
No, I don't pass you. No way. No shot.
Oh, because you live in
I
Calabasas.
live
That's
closer
why.
to that
Oh,
side.
you're in
I'm on
Calabasas.
the west side of the valley.
Yeah. Bigger house, bigger
I'm
money.
not
That
down
makes
there
sense.
with you broke motherfucker.
Yeah, no, that makes
I thought
sense.
you lived in Arleta.
That makes
Yeah.
I grew up in Arleta.
You're like, ew, Central Valley?
Ill.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let me know when you get to
You ain't
West
even
Hills.
West Valley. You ain't even West Valley. You North
I
Hills,
definitely
bro.
get a headache going past the 405
Oh
on
my
that side.
God.
No, I'm just
man.
kidding.
Cannot stand
Nah, man, I'm a
you
valley. We're all
bougie
valley
ass.
guys.
Yeah, we
except
all
for
valley.
my
guys.
guy over here, but you're honorary valley
Yeah,
guy.
I am.
You are
Honorary.
definitely
You
right.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A1A boys.
But
Yeah.
keep putting out mixes.
Put out
man.
your mixes, man. I'll
Please.
bring an example that I just listened to. Shout out to DJ MOS, who
Killed that.
who did Diddy's 50th. And he made kind of a caption around the whole, like, I wasn't as clean as I'd liked. And he went back and forth. I had to get convinced to put it up. And yo, like, it's just such a dope mix to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, he for sure inspired many DJs, including myself. So I think it's,
Of course.
even in those situations, you should put that out, man. You'll inspire somebody
Yeah, no,
that looks up to you.
Nah,
Yeah.
And
nobody
your
looking
sloppy
up to me,
transitions.
bro. My shit, nobody looking up to me. But what I'm saying is that one mix was definitely like, for at least the people around me, that was like, yo, I think I want to put mixes out now too. I was
Right.
definitely getting those like, okay, like,
Yeah.
thank you, or at least for even doing shit like that, because I'm one person that's gonna get in my head and be like, nah, this shit ain't clean enough. Like, this shit ain't
Yeah.
good enough. Because to me, somebody's watching. Like, somebody's, even with you, like, somebody's watching. Somebody's watching. Somebody's always watching and critiquing. But now it's gotten to a point where it's just like, just put it out.
Yeah.
Like, break that barrier and put it out. It's only gonna get better. So, I feel like if you keep consistently putting more stuff out, you're only going to get better and keep growing at it.
Well, to add to that, and I know this isn't the mix episode, but I think it'll help DJs in their sets if they put the focus of creating, like really creating something as special as they can with the mix.
Yeah.
And even if it's not what you may have wanted, still just put it out.
Right.
And I guarantee you're probably going to use some of those blends, transitions in your live set, and it's going to give you a fresh,
For sure.
it's going to add some freshness to
Yeah.
your set, because I don't know how many DJs are actually sitting at home thinking how they can make their set better. A lot of them, as DJs, we have the luxury to just show up, plug in, and do exactly what we did last night.
Yeah.
But at least this will put you in front of your laptop and make you say, all right, let me try something different. Let me try this blend. I got an idea. I was inspired by this or that.
Right.
Let me just try something different. I'll put it out, and I'm going to keep that crate of that mix because there's some cool shit
And
there.
revert back to it. Yeah, I've done that. But with me, it's like sequencing is big. Like the sequencing of what comes first, second, third. That's like, I use that for my mixes. I use that for performances with other artists like that I'm in charge of creating a show for. Sequencing is a key factor in mixes. So definitely if you focus on your sequencing and the flow of it, you can't really lose on that.
You guys do that a lot. Like you'll be able to sit at the crib and sit in your laptop and actually think of different ways that you can incorporate or just introduce certain tracks differently.
I wouldn't say a lot. Like, I don't know what your definition of a lot is.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like if
21
like
Savage
you said,
once
like you're
said.
saying, like, all right, I wanted like, you know, figure out a way. I got back-to-back gigs, pretty much the same format, but I want to do them differently.
I feel like to really get in depth to answer that properly, that would take a whole other episode.
Well, give me a quick fact.
So you gotta try to give me 2 in 1, bro? What's up?
Yo, give me the back of the book.
The Cliff Notes.
Exactly.
Cliff Notes.
I can't get 2 episodes in 1.
But to some degree, yeah. When I do, and this is how I keep myself on my toes, because again, it's so easy to get lazy. Like, all right, I just did a string of gigs for however long. I want to do something different. You know, there's a lot of songs in my library that I can mess with, songs I can bring back.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go through them. Or what helps me is I want to, I put out those 1 minute routines of like 2 or 3 or 4 songs. So that when I try and figure out what my next routine is going to be or what my 8th routine is going to be, that's to me is also practice as well in regards to doing something different in your set. But I think the path that I'm on and what I'm trying to accomplish, the terror that I'm on is how like a creativity is a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm doing everything I can to do something or try to do something different. And it may take a month for something to really click.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously we can blend different songs and chalk it up as different.
Yeah.
But, you know, to really get in depth and do something creative, I mean, you got to sit there for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It may not happen.
Struggle, like I will literally struggle sitting there with my laptop thinking and listening to songs and trying to come up with some shit. And it's just like, I will say 80-20, 80% of the shit that I come up with is on the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
me too.
For sure. Like I will be thinking, I'm like, oh shit, boom, boom. And then like my execution may not be as clean as I envisioned it, but then I take it back to the drawing board, clean it up, and then I'm like, all right, cool. Right. But I guarantee you everything that you've ever heard me do, I've done it on the spot somewhere.
Same.
If I'm not doing it on the spot right then and there.
I tell you, when I get in that bag, when I do a string of bookings and it's just like booking after booking after booking, by towards the end of that string,
we get it.
I'll get comfortable and I'll start to think, oh wait, I can do this instead in that moment. But if I haven't spun in a while, I'm probably gonna resort back to what I know and where I'm comfortable, and then let that build up over the string of bookings.
Yeah. I don't think you necessarily have to sit in front of your Serato or whatever tractor, whatever y'all use, and literally go through your library. Like you know, I find different ways. Like I'll plug up and just mess around and throw a couple acapellas and try to do different shit. I don't know. Yeah. Just to kind of get my creativity flowing. That's one way I'll start my creative process, I guess. Other ways, like you don't necessarily have to sit there. It's all about finding what works for you and what gets your creativity going. You don't have to spend 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, like whether it's half an hour, 20 minutes. Yeah. Just something to like, just put on the drawing board, you know? And I'll get back to this later type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself looking for more music versus putting music together these days? Or, because I remember spending much more time on like mini crates, or maybe I'm turning this into a whole other episode, but just for like a quick yes or no, like I find myself constantly looking for music more than I do working on actual sets, because I do feel comfortable with the on the fly method, right? Because like obviously BPM typically, let's call it 80% of the time, dictates what's going to go next. Yeah. And then from there, it's going to be sonically what also makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's not finding more music. It depends, because if you go to like a hip hop club in LA, it's going to be
you need the new shit.
You know, it's one, it's the new shit. Two,
it's the same new shit.
It's the same new shit. Right. Yeah. Like it's not like a fucking.
Yeah, I think it matters on what your scenario is.
Yeah,
like if we're talking about that specific scenario, I think it's more so trying to find songs I already have in my library that they wouldn't expect that I can play, as opposed to finding new shit to either put them on or play or
Right.
think that they might know it. I'm like, okay, how can I play this old Soulja Boy shit? I used to rock back in 2006.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As long as you don't do All I Want for Christmas is Soulja Boy, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Ooh.
But I think more of the focus is now as DJs, I think is it's not even just finding more music now. It's really focusing on your brand and putting that energy into your brand.
Yeah.
And
Defer back to our last episode.
Yep. Last couple of them.
You know, that's kind of where that energy is. It should be shifting. I want to say, because you can have the most amazing talent in the world, and if your image isn't all the way there, you're not going to have those same doors that this person with a great brand and less talent is going to have.
Right.
You know? So definitely focus on your craft for sure. Always keep working at it, but keep in mind that putting a little more energy and time into your brand is key, because, don't be stuck like Nitrane.
That's the next topic on our show is what does a bad image look like?
Oh.
That's next topic. We're not going to get into that.
Come on, dude.
Next topic is going to be like a piñata full of gems.
We got
we're
a lot.
Hit that motherfucker. And there's just going to be a bunch of gems on the ground for all you listeners. That's what we do here. We drop gems.
Y'all didn't give me the good topics then.
You dropped something. It's a gem.
That's me.
Uncut Gems is a good movie, by the way.
Yo, I need to go see that shit.
I'll send you the link. It's fire. Sorry.
Send you the link.
Send you the link. Okay.
Does nobody go out
We in
anymore?
LA. We in LA.
Yeah, bro.
We just enter the dark web.
Definitely talk about what does, I think we talk a lot about branding being.
But come on, because I'm curious now. It's like, what is a bad image?
Fuck it. I mean, like I said, because that's what I'm saying. We talk a lot about branding being the top thing that you need to work.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about who I can't play and can't play.
What is an image? What is a bad image? What is someone that's being like, yo, that's not a good look? Like,
I mean, I think if you're fucking just doing the wrong shit on,
what's the wrong shit?
You can't go.
We're potting now.
You can't go to. Is that we can't do that?
No,
let's grab up the show. Let's go.
We're ready to go.
We in this. If we cut it up into 2 episodes,
it just got better.
We cut it into 2 episodes. Whatever. We
you
in.
gave me I'm not trying to talk about.
You're giving us a week off.
Shout out to Tiger.
This might work.